Good evening, and thank you for joining us right here on Splash 105.5 FM. It's your integrity station. Glad to be here. It's Splash Rendezvous. I'm Oluwaseun Omakinola, and I'd like to welcome you to the program. Today, we're continuing with our discussion on the second anniversary of Governor Seyi Makinde's administration in Oyo State. We're zeroing in on security, basically. That's what we will be taking a look at on the program today. So join us as we do this. But as a question we'd like you to participate in or answer, are you satisfied with the way this government handles security in Oyo State in the last 2 years? What are your concerns as a citizen? We'll also use different incidents that have happened in the state as a fulcrum for us to navigate the path of security in Oyo State today. We're also hoping to speak with the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Kogi State on the program today. So after the news at 6 p.m., we'll be joining him live in Kogi State as we speak with him and engage him on the issues surrounding the state of the confluence today on the program. So Rendezvous is expanding this horizon. We'll be taking a look at issues around Kogi State on the program as well today. But this first half, we will want to engage you. We want you to speak with us as we together examine the issue of security in Oyo State the past 2 years. So once again, welcome to the program. This is Splash Rendezvous. Michael Olatubosun is right here on the program today. Michael, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening to everybody here. Tunde, Guki, Ayo, and our studio manager. It's good to be here again.
And Tunde Olawo is here. Hi, Tunde.
Sure. Good evening. I'm happy to be here again. Good evening to Michael and to everybody listening.
I'm glad to be here too. Bosun, thank you for being here. And together we will roll the issues on this program. So, as I said, it's 2 years of the administration of Governor Seyi Makinde, and we want to take a look at security as a fulcrum. Now, security is said to be the primary function of government. And one of the things that caught my attention was the Nigerian Tribune editorial for today, where it was talking about Seyi Makinde's appeal to the federal government for him to get rifles for Amotekun. Makinde appealed to the federal government to allow him buy AK-47 rifles for Amotekun operatives so that they could effectively discharge their constitutional mandate. Is this government able to protect its citizens as given to it by the Constitution to do? Why is it that government, particularly the security architecture, is unable to respond meaningfully to citizens in travails? We have seen this happen not once, not twice, where people will be in trouble, and what you see is that there will be so much delay before security operatives will come to their rescue. Some have said that the current governor in Oyo State is empowering hoodlums and louts. How true is this? The system that was in place before this administration, particularly when it comes to the issue of curtailing internal wranglings among the transport unions, when this government came to power, it prescribed NURTW. Has that solved the problem? Together, we will take a look at this issue. So we would like you to also be able to be part of it. The question I've been asking, and I also would like you to answer, is what are your impressions about the security situation in Oyo State so far? I know that your mind is zeroing in on what happened yesterday at Iwo Road, but that is not the only thing that we will refer to, but we are going to also deal with that issue this morning. This evening, once again, welcome to the program. So I'll start with Michael. Michael, security situation in Oyo State. Before we get to Iwo Road, look at it, the effort of this government since it started. one major thing he did when he started was to buy vehicles for the
Yeah.
police.
That was a plus. That was a great pedestal to really start with, because security agencies would need equipment, would need empowerment, would need mobility, and the governor did well. I think it was 100 cars
Yeah.
that he bought initially, and then with the other ones that he had brought in, he also bought vehicles, operational vehicles for Amotekun Corps, and yeah, good. But you see, you remember that I think it was in 2019 or so, or 2020, I'm not very sure of the time now, when people started saying that the 615, that's the number, the code had not been, had been very unresponsive when you have emergency situations. So it tells you that, combating insecurity goes beyond just the hardware. You have to be able to, buy equipment, fine. You have to be able to be strategic enough in diagnosing the problem places, the high points of crisis in the state, to be able to man them efficiently, which we have not really been able to deal with, which is what the question you were asking a while ago, why it's consistently or persistently taking long for security agencies to respond to emergency, and the call for by people to for the agencies to respond to emergency situations. So if you would ask me, if you allow me to say, okay, the governor has done well in the area of equipment. In fact, we understand also that there were some places where you have cameras, CCTV installed. Basically, of course, you have controversy around the initiator of that project. But for me, it's not about who initiated it. Government is a continuum. So I agree. But the point is that, have these things yielded fruit in terms of really policing the state? I would say not yet.
Okay, so I'm coming to Tunde. If you recall, sometime in February this year, the governor, there's this picture of Premium Times, the governor went to see the president.
Yes.
Yes, to talk about the security situation in Oyo State. And he said he went to see the president to explain the activities of bandits, hoodlums, armed robbers, and kidnappers in the state. Why do they have to go to the president?
I think that's...
And he also alluded to it in his speech, and even in his interview, that some Southwest governors came to me and I told them to go back to their states.
Well, that explains the dysfunctionality of federalism, so-called federalism, because the Constitution describes the governors as the chief security officer of the state. And what that simply means is that the buck should naturally stop on your table. But how then can you expect them to fully discharge that responsibility when they really don't have full control about the security systems in the state? And it's, for me, it's just it's a mixed bag of confusion, because on one hand, these governors are getting security votes every month.
Fat amounts.
Whether it's 500 million or 600 million every month that they don't account for, because it's security and you can't fully audit it, you can't fully disclose how you spend. But on the other hand, does anybody really wonder what they use this money for? Because, okay, the president, and I disagree 100% with the president when he complained about governors rushing to him. Why won't they rush to you? They have commissioners of police in their state that they cannot issue direct orders to, because the commissioners, the CPs take directives from the IG, who is appointed by the president. So essentially, the answer to the president. Now, is there anything that the governors can do in terms of asking for permission to buy, arms and ammunition? I don't think that will happen, except we
have a state police.
State police. I don't think just asking for permission, will make that happen, because if it happens for your state, trust me, all other governors. I mean, Samuel Lotton will be the first governor
to ship in the arms.
To ship in arms and ammunition. He won't be asking for AK-47.
No.
Maybe AK-49. Again. So until we get to a point where we amend our constitution to give room for state police, that is not going to happen.
But it doesn't look like the president, or maybe, I don't know, maybe the APC to say, or the government is favorably disposed to the idea of state police.
Frankly speaking, the president is not, clearly. The National Assembly, this present National Assembly is also not. So what I think will make that happen, if at all it will, is pressure from Nigerians, pressure from state governors. Now, Michael said something, and we cannot, overemphasize on that. The role of intelligence. Security just doesn't start and end with, hardwares. When with the last, administration in Oyo State, Operation Burst was the in thing when it comes to managing security, outside of the regular police. When this administration came on board, clearly from their body language, you will see that a little bit of politics crept in. So they didn't really want to put Operation Burst in a place of prominence. They bought new cars, for the rapid response squad. Then they launched the 615 security number for you to call. As it worked, well, I think it's left for the people to decide. But if you ask for my opinion, I would say it's below average for that. Now, the NSAS protest came, after COVID-19. So the year 2020 didn't really define much for these people until around October last year. Now we are faced with a major crisis. It is not just a security problem. It is also going to become a food problem. Because Okiogun, the northern part of Oyo State, is the food basket, is the place, with the largest, arable land for agriculture. And it is the place that has now come under serious siege of insecurity. Not that we didn't see it coming, we were warned, but we didn't do anything. And that squarely falls on the table of Mr. Governor. Fine, he has gone there twice now to take responsibility. We can only hope that he will not have to take another responsibility.
Okay.
Now, let's come down to the city, because, when you talk about banditry in our own climate here, some will say it's limited to, the outskirts.
The hinterlands.
Look at what we experienced yesterday. And this has been coming. I fully supported the move to proscribe NURTW when this administration came on board, because I was tired of them. As far as I'm concerned, NURTW is not supposed to be different from any other association, any other union of food sellers, of
papas.
Why must it be important to people like us who are not in that trade? To know who the chairman of NURTW is, if not because politicians have seen them as very useful political tools. So when NURTW was proscribed, I was happy about it. I was happy with the introduction of the park management system, because I felt, look, this is one area where the government
need to make a lot of money.
Yes, it's a very viable IGR option for the government. But then again, when the idea of bringing Alhaji Mukaila Lamidi, AK Auxiliary, into the fray came on board, I said, okay, what do we have on our hand? This is one man who has gone to jail, who has spent about 6 years. He was at a point declared wanted. I knew what, I went through alongside a colleague, in trying to interview him at that point in time. He went to jail, is back. I mean, you should let him, enjoy what is left of himself, not to bring him into the limelight. And what are we seeing?
All right. We are here, and that's where we're going to stay. And we want you to also be part of it after we come back from this break. But I will list this one quickly. that if you go to that document, the Sheyi Makinde Manifesto, I will go there, page 97. That's where he inscribed a strategy for security. I guess you should go back and look at it to make Oyo State the most secure state in Nigeria, in order to make it conducive for economic and social development.
It's not even the most secure state in the Southwest,
so
as it is now.
We'll take a break. I'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Germs and eliminate self-stain. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you, yeah. Ariel is worth it.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside there.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Fluco Day. It does not cause drowsiness.
I know this drug. It work well.
Let me try it. Manufactured by Harvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flu.
Fluco Day!
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
Báwo lẹ̀rọ àgbéká rẹ ṣe wúlò fún ọ sí?
Bí àkàndé tó máa get safe.
Kò sì ní àǹfààní àyẹ̀wò tó bá ṣe déédéé. Tẹ *326# láti ṣí account Ecobank Express Safe tiẹ̀ lónìí. Láìsí ìwé kankan, kò sí yọnu, kò sì ṣẹ́jọ́ rárá. Ecobank, báǹkì gbogbo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀.
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-Up contains antibacterial zinc, ABZ, which gives you 3 times more freshness and 3 times more protection. Better than your regular toothpaste. Now you know the ABZ secret.
The new Close-Up is her secret. Everybody must hear.
You can't keep a secret.
New Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the freshness, triple the protection.
Attain the knowledge you require to join the broadcasting industry. Splash FM Media Academy offers premium training to both aspiring and practicing personalities. And enroll now at Splash FM Media Academy for a certificate of proficiency in broadcast journalism. Splash FM Media Academy courses include Introduction to Presentation, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yoruba Presentation, plus interactive practical mentorship session with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM Media Academy beside White House, Felele, Ibadan. You can also register online at splashfm1055.com/academy or call 0705-439-3332. Visit our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram at Splash FM Academy for more details. Realize your potential and pursue a career in radio broadcasting today. Splash FM Media Academy, preserving media integrity.
The place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting me cause all the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
What are you looking for? The experience of a lifetime? Front row seats?
Game time.
To rub shoulders with the best in the world?
Ronaldo. Oh my goodness me.
And to witness 24 teams battle it out for the ultimate prize.
Hey, my people. Euro 2020 don't land for your domos. Watch all the games live and get better enjoyment on Super Sports Channel 32 from 11 June to 11 July. Make una no miss any of Euro 2020 matches. Get your own Go TV decoder plus Go Tenor. Make you enjoy 1 month max subscription for just 9,500 naira. Enter the home of football. Go TV. Love it.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, Panadol Extra náà ni Panadol Extra. Ó tún ti ń bẹ báyìí nínú ìdí kékeré oníkápẹ́lẹ̀tì mẹ́rin láàdọ́ta náírà péré. Panadol Extra kan náà ni Panadol Extra mú tura bẹ́ fọ́rí, ìrora ẹ̀yìn, ìrora oríkèé, ìrora nǹkan oṣù àti ìrora ẹ̀yìn. Tí ìbá ṣe Panadol, kò lè jẹ́ bí Panadol. Tá ìbá rẹ̀ ò bá sí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì, lọ rí dókítà. Panadol Extra ní paracetamol àti caffeine nínú, kò sí fáláboyún àtàwọn ọmọdé tọ́jú orí wọn kéré sọ́dún 12.
Big protein breakfast àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á ṣe oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rẹ̀ wọ́n láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún big protein amárata kébé.
Pig, rich for your pig.
Here, Papa Obi. Now wetin dey shake you again like leaf? Chai! Sweater and handkerchief never comot from your hand since I marry you.
Na cold and kata again o.
I don tell you say make you take Procold, but e dey form of big man.
Why Procold, my dear?
Make you no waka miss road o. Procold get paracetamol and phenylephrine for effective relief from cold and catarrh within 20 minutes.
Mama Obi, I dey kampe now.
Na Orange Drugs Limited distribute am. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Procold na better medicine.
Take Procold. Take Procold.
Sense of fresh.
I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not scent of fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. Yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Scent of fresh. The correct chewing gum, not scent of fresh. No darling with scent of fresh.
Scent of fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
You can rest assured we will take this jolly ride with you. Our bet is on you, 'cause you are a winner. We'll win with you. We'll run with you all the way. We'll share your dreams and we'll turn them to
your tomorrow.
Captain.
Yes, coach.
Shebi you sabi say if this our school go follow carry shoulder for people wey sabi, we must win this match.
Yes, coach.
No forget say 1, the time to win as they blow whistle to start the match. 2, no forget to protect your net every time.
Yes, coach.
Yes, so my correct champion.
Okay, champ. Make you go eat. Make you bath. So that you go fit sleep well, you hear?
Papa, you don't forget the net, oh.
Aha! Oya, tell us, how we go take for malaria hand?
All of us must sleep inside net every night. And when we know they use the net, now to arrange them well, keep one side.
Better pikin.
Our champion, we sabi every.
Papa, make you no forget you and mama net, oh.
The mosquitoes where they carry malaria, now for night them they bite. If everybody sleep inside net, mosquitoes no go bite anybody and malaria no go worry anybody. This message, now the Federal Ministry of Health and support from American people carry and come.
Splash FM 105.5.
èèyàn ni mo máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́run máa ń ṣe èèyàn lódì torí lọ́ba wí Ajímọ̀bí ó ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ iná ni ẹ ṣáà ní sọ̀rọ̀ ni ìjọ ọlọ́run ó dàyé lẹ̀ kí ló fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ní let there be light and there was light. Mo sọ kúnlẹ̀ ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó ṣe dáadáa ìṣe dáadáa ti ẹ̀mí lọ síwájú ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àtún gbọ́dọ̀ padà sí mágbà abẹ́rẹ́ kọjá mágbà mọ̀lẹ́tì àbẹ́yẹmọ. Mo lè rí àdá ẹsẹ̀ òkúnlẹ̀ ìsìn ibi tó bá yẹ kó ṣe sùúrù ibi tó bá yẹ kó jà ìwọ náà jà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ti ẹ̀ sìn. Ibadan, Ọ̀yọ́ State, gbogbo ojúbọ ọ̀rọ̀. You have to be firm. Èyí lẹ̀ ẹ́ sọ yẹn, you have to be firm. So tell the government, Gani, everybody wants to tell you where to go. No. A leader will take his people to where they want to go. A great leader will take his people to where they ought to be. That is leadership. It's not enough láti kọjọ́ ọ̀kan lórí. It's not enough láti kọ̀ọ̀kan lẹ̀. You must have the courage. Na my father, the ṣe deny. Àlè sọ ẹgbẹ́ wa lẹ̀ wọ́n mi náà. She is my sister. The ṣe deny.
Welcome back. It's still Splash Rendezvous on Splash 105.5 FM. This is Rendezvous, and what we do more here is to look at solutions. I'm taking you to what the governor said when he went to see the president. And what he said there was something that is of interest to me. I quote him, "The issue that I discussed with Mr. President is the fact that Oyo State landmass is quite big. Oyo State is close to 29,000 square kilometers, and the state right now only has 2 mobile police squadrons. So I requested for more mobile police squadrons to be deployed to Oyo State, and also asked for support for the joint security outfit, because the underlying issue here also has to do with limited opportunities. The tension will definitely go down if a lot of our youth are gainfully employed. So I briefed the president on what we are doing in that regard." The park management system, has it solved that problem of, wranglings amongst these louds in such a volatile atmosphere? Iwo Road was a hotbed. That was where Shanono died. And that was a place where it was like a no-go area for anyone. When you hear Liwiomo, Tokyo, and the rest. Are we going back to that era, Michael?
We traveled back to that era since 2019.
So what are we going to do?
Unfortunately. What do we do? Number one, we have to extricate someone's personal relationship with some people, from governance, which was what the president also. I saw someone said to him that you are president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You are not you don't do governance for your cousins. So the governor in Oyo State has also been doing governance for his friends. There's no problem having friends, even hard guys. There's no problem having hard guys as friends, okay? The Yorubas will say, Omoburuku lojo tie, right?
Certainly.
But the point is that you should not let the Omoburuku to disrupt the good things that you want to do. Just like we were saying, you were reading from the document, transformation, Oyo State transformation, accelerated development and the rest of it. Beautiful document, but you allow just one friend to truncate your beautiful ideals for a state. No, it's not acceptable. So I think that going forward, the governor should call these guys. Number one, he should, in fact, hand them over to security agencies for the appropriate, prosecution.
That doesn't happen. Doesn't happen here.
It should happen. If it doesn't happen, then we're just deceiving ourselves that we are in a state where you don't have a state if some people cannot be made to answer, to the law. You see, it is the law. It is not a family meeting. If indeed you have masterminded a crisis, in any state, you should be made to face the law. That's why the law was made. The law was made to catch people who violate it. Then that's number one. Number two, then you should now tell him, guy, see, I am the governor here. You are not the one. If you misbehave, I will deal with you as my friend.
That looks like what Ajimobi was saying.
Yes.
Was saying.
Yes.
That
See,
when you're supposed to be stern.
When you are supposed to be soft, be soft. When you're supposed to be hard for the benefit of the people. Don't forget that. You see that section 14 that applies to the president also applies to the governor, where it says the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary responsibility of government. You see, it's not a one-sided. The Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, is not a document for the federal government alone. So, when you want to make sure that there is welfare, you have to take care of security. And if you have a friend who is truncating the security of the people, you need to call him to order. To say, see, okay, even if you are not going to do it for God, do it for me.
Okay. This article written by Sikiru Akinola on Oyo Inside, I'm picking 2 paragraphs there. When auxiliary passes through the road that divides Ibadan into 2 halves, Iwo Road, Gate, Oje, Ojaba, Monete, Challenge, New Garage Road, my heart trembles.
Yes.
May you not be unfortunate to be on the road when his convoy is passing. Michael has also talked about it some time ago.
Yeah, yes.
Auxiliary is truly the next after Makinde. His followers call him Deputy Governor. I've met him. That was the day before Makinde's inauguration. He was at the Liberty Stadium to inspect the venue. On inauguration day, it was obvious trouble was lurking. His supporters lined up every roads around Okeado wearing vests with Auxiliary's picture embossed in it. Akinola said, since then, we have known no peace. It's 1 week, one trouble. Those who live on the Ibadan Island are not spared. At the point, it was Auxiliary versus Olokpoye. At another time, it was him and Sunday Igboho. It seems Makinde needs Auxiliary for something many of us don't know. I may never know. Tunde?
You see, one of the things I try to avoid is, bringing politics into this kind of analysis. But it is almost impossible to, look entirely away from this, because, we were in this Ibadan pre-2011, and we knew how terrible things were. In terms of security, we had relatives in Lagos, in different places, who will call you almost on a daily basis. It seems they were even getting more information than people who were in Ibadan, like us, that, we hear that something is wrong in Iwo Road. We hear that you should not pass through Ojaba. We hear that Molete is in trouble, is on fire, and all of that. If there is one thing that you should give the former governor credit for, was that he was actually on top of the situation. I'll give 2 instances. One has already been mentioned, which is the fact that this same auxiliary that we are now talking about was kept, behind bars for almost 6 years. Don't forget that, the then long-serving chairman of NURTW in Oyo State, Alhaji Tokyo, pre-2011 was also a friend to the late Ajimobi. In fact, he complained that he betrayed him, that he worked for Ajimobi, and then he dumped him. Perhaps, looking at it, that what purpose is Tokyo going to be serving me as a governor? So that is to buttress the point raised by Michael, that somebody can be your friend, but if you realize that you don't need this kind of person around you in government, especially if you want peace in the state, you don't have to make them prominent around you when you get into office. Another example, there was a time that some contractors were working on a particular project. Reportedly, they said some boys who claimed to be boys of Chief Sunday Igboho, when they, the normal thing, you stop them, you have to, pay some dues before you're allowed to do the job. And then the governor came out that evening, calling on the commissioner of police to get him arrested. That same evening, Chief Igboho addressed a press conference saying, look, I have absolutely no hand in this.
Yes.
As the governor, you are like a president in your state. And we're talking about the governor of Oyo State here. The pace-setter state, 29,000 plus square kilometers. It is in the words of
Tade Padiola.
Yeah, I remember.
That the governor of Oyo State
like the president
thinking like a
village head.
Champion, like a village head. You have to be on top of this situation. My problem is not even about Igbo, but you are now breeding so many smaller Igbos in different enclaves. Because the same way you aspire to greatness in every good thing, guys who are also operating in the other world, they aspire to greatness in their own world. So when they see one of them being elevated to the status of almost the deputy governor, they want to be like him. And how do you be like him? Is by, wreaking more havoc,
more violent.
Yes, and showing that, look,
I have more power.
You are going to be the next enforcer they need when electioneering comes. Governor Seyi Makinde was popularly voted for by the people in 2019. There is no doubt about that. He didn't win because of auxiliary. He didn't win because of Frayo or because of anybody else. He won because the people loved him. And I think they still do love him. He cannot allow that love, that support, that trust they have in him to be truncated because of your loyalty to one person. Because it's even armed robbery is on the rise.
Yes.
I have somebody who does his business somewhere around Ojaba. Almost on a weekly basis, you're just going to have, boys, some in 20s and 30s with, cutlass, raiding shops, attacking people, and they will be claiming to be boys of so. We need to stop this. We really need to stop this. Investors will not come. IGR will not grow. There will not be social order when you are afraid, when you are scared to move out. I think the governor needs to arrest this at this point. I'm glad that he has gone to Iwo Road.
He was there this
Yes,
afternoon.
he has spoken to them. He said he's going to do something about the complex, which has actually become like, one hidden place for, court guys. I hope he's also going to rein in the PMS people. He said it's going to be reviewed, and the representatives of the phone sellers will come so that he can look at how it will compensate them. But that should not be our approach. Are we going to wait until another one happens
and then throw money at
then
it?
the governor goes to visit again? No.
It's on record. It's on record
somebody
that
died.
Oyo State did not attract any foreign direct investment in 2020.
That was COVID-19.
Oh, okay. So Lagos was the flashpoint for COVID-19 in Nigeria.
Michael, yes, you know what I meant.
Okay.
But somebody died.
There was a pandemic here.
Yes, somebody died.
Wow. Somebody
died. We saw a picture of a dead young man.
Yes.
That was a life lost.
Yes.
The state failed him.
Yeah.
And that's somebody from the reports we got who had absolutely nothing to do with either the PMS or the court groups or whoever it is they were. It was just unfortunate to be there. The report is that he's the son to the owner of the complex. He was just coming in on his own, a graduate of Lee City University. These are the kind of unfortunate bounces you're going to have when you allow louts to have a field day.
We're going to take another break. When we come back, it will be your turn to have the microphone. I call that your microphone moment. I would like you to do a review of the security situation in your state at the moment and what the governor should do at this time. No life is less than another, and we should not lose anyone needlessly in this state. Thank you for being there. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
One passenger. Big auntie, come enter this bus.
Oga conductor, this kind cough na serious matter. You suppose go hospital.
Hospital care. If I carry this kind cough enter hospital now, those people go talk say now COVID-19 and they worry me.
Haba, doctors don't talk and say different types of cough dey. Some na dry cough, but this your own na wet cough e be.
Big auntie, now God go bless you.
I don't tire for this my conductor and him cough wey no gree go. If it even be tuberculosis.
Conductor, go check am o. Make you dey sure because who no go? No go no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don worry you pass 2 weeks, e fit be tuberculosis o. TB test and treatment na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 to get better informate of where you fit do the test. This message na from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from American people dem.
For a healthy family.
This is not a hotspot. It's not a thoughtless, trash-talking, savage streets. No. This is a zone for those with the true Niger spirits, who refuse to be confined by archaic laws, those who are not accustomed to the norm, who believe there's always a better way to do things. A hub for those who stand behind what they believe in, who make the most of the present to create the future they desire. This is Tribe Niger, for those who see it different and want to do it different.
To join the conversation, download the Tribe Niger app today.
Amatem soft gel wà fún ìtọ́jú àrùn ibà tí ara rẹ kò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ rí dókítà rẹ.
You get money for account, you won't take small thing inside. Just do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Oga, madam, where is your card? I don't forget them for house. If you do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent, anytime you need the money, but your card is there for yonder. Just go do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Cardless withdrawal with Momo agent, you. With Momo agent, card withdraw with Momo agent, any Momo agent.
Now you fit withdraw money even if you not hold your card for any Momo agent where they near you. Just dial *223# to take touchlight the Momo agent where they near your domot. Momo agent, safe, fast, no wahala.
Now the new level, where sample your ticket from Baskin to pay. Yesterday's gone today, it be a lucky day. For Baskin go pay. Baskin go, you are royal, you pay. Oh, you come make me bad, we Baskin go pay. Go check these cars out today, it be a lucky day. For Baskin,
Playground for kings.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside here.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Fluco Day. It does not cause drowsiness.
Nah, drug. I know this drug. It will work well, no?
Let me try it. And if I shot by Harvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flu.
Fluco Day!
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
Try Ariel. Now your clothes will be cleaner than they've ever been. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel is worth it. One wash removes 99.9% germs and eliminates tough stains. Well, Ariel is worth it. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you. Yeah. Ariel is worth it. Well,
so I be first class truck driver.
Yes, it's Panadol Extra Caplets. Panadol Extra is now also available in a smaller pack of 4 caplets at only 50 naira. Same Panadol Extra Caplets that relieves headache, backache, muscle ache, menstrual pain, and toothache. If it's not Panadol, it's not the same thing as Panadol. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult a doctor. Panadol Extra contains paracetamol and caffeine. Not recommended in pregnancy and children under 12.
We're not going to cuss at you. We're not going to yell at you.
We're just going to give you the best of information and entertainment that everyone can agree on.
105.5 The Splash.
Welcome back. Thank you for being there with us on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. Okay, so you can call us right now, 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, 0706 949 3000. These are the numbers you can call this evening and be part of this discussion. 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, and 0706 949 3000. What will be your assessment of Governor Seyi Makinde's stride in the security sector in the past 2 years? Is this government able to protect its citizens? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Pastor Doctor. I'm calling from Apete.
Welcome. Let's do this quickly. 1 minute, sir.
You see, we may pretend as if we don't know what is going on, but the governor himself knows what he's doing. The show of shame displayed by this PMS during the PDP primary shows their inner plan for 2023 election. So the Oyo State people should go for. There's no doubt about it. We are back in the dark era of brigandage in Oyo State. There's no doubt about it. And the only way the governor, if the governor is not supporting them, he should come out openly and disband these people before they start killing everybody. Okay.
Thank you very much for your call, and you have said it that the governor should come out and make bold a statement about these people. All right, so we'd like you to hear from you as well. Is the government able to protect its citizens? And the dynamics of the 2023 is already put into this matter. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from? Let's do this 1 minute, sir.
Yes. Ojo Ogundeji is my name. I'm calling from Academy. The world.
Good.
Now,
welcome.
Thank you. What we are seeing now is painting the picture of what will happen in 2023 to us in 2023 election. The governor came in peacefully. I doubt much if the election of 2023 will not be bloody, because of the type of people is carrying about now. And they are dangerous. They are all dangerous weapons. People know, the whole of your state people know that man is a dangerous man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ojo Ogundeji from Iwo Road this evening. So we'll still want to hear from you as well, if you have comments about it. Who is on the line here? Good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening from Kola.
Welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. Now, let me say something. You see, one thing I did very well was to control the union guys, the NURTW guys in Ibadan then. But and they did it very well that student steps actually take that there was no clash between the guys, and those guys does not foment trouble. They did not foment trouble during this period. But that does not mean there was no violence or brigandage in Nigeria this time. because there is 1 million boys, the Kubis, the what of these Amalajak, they kill people in Ibadan then. But I'm not going there. Now, as Mr. Michael said, it's not bad for someone to have hard guys as friends. But when the hard guys misbehave, what will you do? Now, this is an acid test for the governor now on Mr. Ozliari. If he find out that he was there and he ordered those boys to be killed, then he should be arrested and prosecuted. Anything less than that, then that means the governor has failed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he said if he's found out to be there, he should be arrested and prosecuted. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Where are you calling us from?
This is Joseph Oluwasegun from Ibadan.
Welcome, Mr. Joseph Oluwasegun. Let's talk.
Concerning the governor, I can see, I'm not a soothsayer, but I can see him that he cannot perform because of his body language to issues. You see, so that is why I just see that this man cannot perform. Look at the interview you played concerning the late Ajimobi. Look at the way the man is dishing out his class, his English and his words. He's telling anybody who is scared to know that he is not for nonsense. He's not for anybody. He's for a serious people. But ask this our governor to talk. You can see him that is more or less a childish. I don't know. I'm sorry to use the language. He is a populist governor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't want you to use something that will cause trouble, really. All right. Thank you very much for calling us. Let's see who is here. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. I am Mr. Adiyemo from Africa.
Tademo, welcome. Let's do this quickly.
The governor should not think that auxiliary contributed to resources. That also governor is not like that. God has election won because of his own popularity and because the people are tired of the last administration. I don't know why auxiliary who has just been released from where he has gone to land, which he did not land, to be made de facto deputy governor. So I want to appeal to Mr. Governor to please do away with this man. Otherwise, he's going to spoil his chance of getting any other political appointment in future. Thank you.
Everybody is saying he should do away with this man. Everybody is saying that there's something wrong in his choice of this man.
Yes, because, I mean, people are concerned about security. You see, this is not about politics. I'm probably tomorrow APC will release a statement that will not have any meaning to me as far as I'm concerned.
It's already out.
It's just going to be filled with politics.
I can give
it's
you...
already out.
It's already out.
Yes, but you see, for us, as residents of your state, what we just want is peace.
That's it.
Not bickerings between PDP and APC. When APC was there, like one of the callers said, yes, they had their problems too.
Exactly.
So it's not like they have maybe any silver bullet, to solving this situation. But the people, an average person in your state, wants to live, wants to do business in an environment where there is peace. Compensation can only be for the person that is alive.
Exactly.
The dead man. What else can you do? So you have plunged his family
into darkness.
And sorrow.
Because some people are fighting over what? Over ego, over space. You want to control territories. What?
Let me read some parts for you. The last paragraph of that release. As stakeholders in the affairs of your state, we are once again advising Governor Makinde to brace up and rejig the security architecture of your state by convening a security summit.
Don't forget that Nigeria
will the security summit do?
Itself is enmeshed in insecurity. Just yesterday, 4 Chinese workers were kidnapped. Lagos Ibadan Rail that they are advising everybody to go and, to now, I've been advising Michael to make that his option. 4 were kidnapped. A policeman was killed, sadly, in the line of duty. So Nigeria is facing serious insecurity challenges. We don't now want to add, PMS Wahala into it in Oyo State. It will just be too unfortunate.
That's a serious matter. Even there is this a report that somewhere in the north where some military officers repelled an attack, onto a school.
Yeah.
So insecurity is still everywhere.
The Islamia school kids in Niger State, they have not been released. So APC does not have any moral standing at this point in time to be advising anybody.
This is about us. It's
about us. It's not about the parties. As far as they are concerned, APC just wants to get back into Agodi House in 2023. But we need to be alive.
Yes.
Before 2023.
Thank you for being there. We'll take a break. When we come back after the news, we'll go to Kogi State. Stay with us. Don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing
105.4.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Mommies and daddies, good evening. Don't forget to buy your pikin's favorite toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome to the news highlight at 6 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. President Muhammadu Buhari has visited Borno State and addressed troops on the front line battling insurgency in the northeast. The president landed at the airport located at the Air Force Base in Maiduguri, the state capital, today for the one-day working visit. He was received by the state governor, Babagana Zulum, and other top government officials in the state. The president, during the visit, addressed Nigerian Army troops at the headquarters of Theatre Command Operation Haddon K and 7th Division Nigerian Army, Maiduguri Malari Cantonment in Maiduguri. He also commissioned some projects, including 4,000 houses, which were part of the federal government's housing project, as well as some local projects executed by the state government. Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdulrashid Bauer, has said former Abia State Governor Orji Uzor Kalu will be prosecuted by the agency all over again. The anti-graft agency boss also said he is not perturbed over threats to his life and is determined to prosecute the many pending cases under trial. Bauer disclosed this today while addressing journalists during the weekly ministerial chat at the State House in Abuja. He said he is confident that when the unit is fully established, corruption will significantly decline in the country. The senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Uba, has emerged as a candidate of the Young Progressives Party for the forthcoming governorship election in Anambra State. Uba, who was cleared by the YPP national leadership in Abuja, allayed the fears of Nigerians that the Southeast crisis will disrupt the election coming up in November this year. Uba said the current insecurity in the region will not affect the conduct of the polls and that his party will emerge victorious. The senator also said his party was not behind the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party and All Progressives Grand Alliance in the state, contrary to insinuations in some quarters. Bandits have abducted some students of Federal Government Girls College, Brennan Yauri, Kebbi State, according to Daily Trust. According to security sources, at least 30 students and 3 teachers were abducted. The attackers, who rode on motorcycles, were said to have stormed the school from neighboring Rijau Forest in the early hours of today. They were said to have overpowered the mobile policemen guarding the school, and details of the incident are still sketchy, but there are reports that the security operative was shot dead during the operation. And out of foreign scene, Sweden faces a snap election or a caretaker government if a no-confidence vote against Prime Minister Stefan Löfven passes next week, as it looks likely. The no-confidence vote was brought by the far-right Sweden Democrats and backed by other opposition parties. The vote now is scheduled for Monday after the left, a party at the other end of the political spectrum, said it could no longer back Löfven, objecting to a government plan to scrap rent controls on newly built apartments. Meanwhile, the Moderate Party, the biggest opposition party in parliament, said it will vote to oust Löfven, as did the smaller Christian Democrat. The U.S. is ending a Cambodian aid program aimed at protecting one of its biggest wildlife sanctuaries. The U.S. started worsening deforestation and harassment of those who speak out about destruction of natural resources as reasons for its action. The U.S. Embassy in Phnom Penh said it had invested more than $100 million in combating deforestation, and despite some progress, high rates of illegal logging had continued. The embassy said its aid will be redirected to support civil society, private sector, and local conservation efforts. And on sports, world number 3 Rafael Nadal has pulled out of this month's Wimbledon and the Tokyo Olympic Games. The 20-time Grand Slam champion, who won the Wimbledon titles in 2008 and 2010, says he needs to recuperate after a long clay court season. Nadal hinted at the decision after his defeat by Serbia's world number 1 Novak Djokovic in the French Open semi-finals last week. If defending champion Djokovic wins the title at the All England Club, it will move him level with record shared by Nadal and Switzerland's Roger Federer of 20 men's major single titles. And that ends the 6 p.m. news highlight for today. I'm Oluwaseun Akinola. Splash Rendezvous will continue in a moment. Just stay with us.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
When we say we're committed to giving you more, here's what we mean. We mean going the extra mile to ensure you have the best customer experience. In fact, if you make an instant transfer and it fails, we will reverse it in 1 business day or refund 5 times the transaction fees. You get that? A reversal on failed instant transfers in 1 business day, or we will refund 5 times the transaction fees. Now, that's how committed we are to giving you more. Access, more than banking.
My name na Patito, I be first class truck driver.
Yes, it's Panadol Extra Caplets. Panadol Extra is now also available in a smaller pack of 4 caplets at only 50 naira. Same Panadol Extra Caplets that relieves headache, backache, muscle ache, menstrual pain, and toothache. If it's not Panadol, it's not the same thing as Panadol. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult a doctor. Panadol Extra contains paracetamol and caffeine, not recommended in pregnancy and children under 12.
Now your clothes will be cleaner than they've ever been. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel is worth it. One wash removes 99.9% germs and eliminates tough stains. Well, Ariel is worth it. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you, yeah. Ariel is worth it. Well,
Chidi, now where you dey go dey jump road up and down?
Na papa say make I buy am shakis.
Shagini? Oh, I don't tell this man say make you not dey send this boy buy alcohol now. Papa Chidi, I beg no dey send this pikin buy Shaki so.
Mama Chidi, why now? No be buy I say make him buy. Make I no dey send a message again.
Papa Chidi, you know say na small before you go wan know how the thing dey taste, eh? And if that one can't happen, when you come dey drink am, na big problem be that o.
He reach that one?
Yes, so Papa Chidi, he reach. Person wey never reach 18 no suppose touch alcohol. Papa Chidi, you hear me so? Even the Federal Ministry of Health talk say alcohol na for only person wey don reach 18.
Okay, I don't hear. I no go send am again. In fact, make I go tell am myself. Chidi!
Now, Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, DBAN, will be subsector of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, bring on this message.
Ohun tó yẹni ló yẹni, ìrọ̀rùn ló yẹ àwọn oníbàárà wa. Nítorí náà, ní ìgbàkúùgbà tí o bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ láti ilé ìfowópamọ́ Access sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ mìíràn tí owó náà lọ, lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ la ó fún ọ ní owó rẹ padà tàbí ká dá owó tí a máa ń gbà lórí ìfowóránṣẹ́ padà fún ọ lẹ́ẹ̀márùn-ún. Èyí túmọ̀ sí wípé ní gbogbo ìgbà tí a bá fi owó ránṣẹ́ tí kò lọ rárá fún ìdí kan tàbí òmíràn, lọ́jọ́ náà la ó dá gbogbo owó rẹ padà o. Tí a kò bá dá padà ní ọjọ́ kan, a ó fún ọ ní ìlọ́po márùn-ún owó tí a bá gbà lórí ìfowóránṣẹ́ rẹ. Ìdí nìyí tí a fi ń fọwọ́ sọ̀yà wípé ìrọ̀rùn ẹ̀yin oníbàárà wa ló jẹ́ wá lógún o. Access ó ju ìfowópamọ́ lọ.
Customer, see your tomatoes. Abi, may I add pepper join?
Yes, abeg add. See, this your cough sef don dey pass the careful.
Take am easy with her now. But customer, this your cough, make you try enter hospital now.
No, you sef know say no be correct time be this. They go just talk say I get COVID-19.
Customer, all cough no be the same o. This one fit be tuberculosis now.
Auntie, na true talk o. Check am o, make you dey sure.
Because who no go, no go know.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don worry you pass 2 weeks, e fit be tuberculosis o. TB test and treatment na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 to get better information of where you fit do the test. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from American people then.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing the
105.5.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
Thank you for being there with us on Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station. The program is Splash Rendezvous, and we are live on Facebook. So if you want to be part of the conversation, you can join us live on Facebook, and we will have the robust conversation on the program today. So people have been making comments even on Facebook, so you can also make your own comment on Facebook, and let's have the time together right here on Splash 105.5. We've been looking at the issue of security in Oyo State since we started, and we're shifting gears a little bit. I guess what is on this line? Maybe the person wants to make a comment. Let's maybe listen to him. Hello, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for joining us. What's the name where you're calling from?
Hello,
Miss Uncle, I'm on radio right now, so please just put that off. I guess it's a stray call. So you can join us on Facebook Live. If you get there, go to Splash 105.5 and you can join us here and make your comments on the issue that we are dealing with. But let's quickly move on to Kogi State. Now, Kogi State is a very interesting state. It's what they call the confluence state. And when you say it's a confluence state, it's a state where a lot of people meet. It's at the center. It's bordered by about 11 states or 11, states around it. So we want to see what is happening in Kogi State, and we want to speak with someone in Kogi State. We'll be speaking with the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Kogi State this evening. So when we get him on the line, we will put him right here for you to discuss with. you will also be able to hear what the state has been doing. So, Michael, have you ever been to Kogi State?
Oh yes, I have some roots in Kogi State. My mom is part Oyo, part Ibadan, part what's this place called now? Ibira.
Okay, Ibira.
Very close to Ibira.
Ibira.
Kaba.
Mm.
So I have some roots there. I have family from maternal side of it. So. In fact, if I should claim Kogi, I should be called the prince, you know.
Oh, wow. Well, I had my NYSC at Kogi State, so I think I have
I remember when our team, went to Kogi for the last election.
Yes.
It made news.
It was trending. I mean, there was a video Femi Ojo did. I had a name for Femi. I won't say that already. Okay, so, but we have the chief press secretary to the governor of Kogi State, Mr. Onogu Mohammed, on the line. Hello, good evening. Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you also hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, that's great. So, welcome to the program. This is Splash, and my name is Oluwaseun. I have Michael Olatubosun with me in the studio, as well as Tunde Olawuwo. The three of us will be engaging you on what is happening in Kogi State. So, are you ready for us right now?
Thank you very much, and a very good evening to our listeners outside there.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you on the program. So, how is Kogi State today?
Kogi State is doing very fine. Everybody is fine in Kogi State, and we thank God that we are doing well in Kogi State at the moment.
I am going to start my conversation with you on the issue of security in Kogi State. I know that the governor had a lot of things in his hand dealing with, but people in Kogi Central once said they were under siege, that nearly everyone in Kogi Central in particular now lives in absolute fear. How true is that?
Thank you. For the benefit of doubt, I will want you to quote the statement so that if it is recent statement, I will know how to respond to that. But notwithstanding, Kogi State of today is the most peaceful state among the 19 other states in Nigeria, and by extension, even in the whole country.
How so?
If you understand what happened before the coming of this administration. Before the coming of this administration, Kogi State was referred to as the kidnap capital of Nigeria. We were faced with all forms of insecurity in Kogi State. In 2014, in particular, the dreaded Boko Haram terrorist group established their mechanized division in Okene, that is Kogi Central, where they produce their improvised explosive devices, IEDs. And after the production, they move them to far northeast, where they detonate and carry out their nefarious acts. You understand? At that time, they also had a training camp in Okene, where some of our citizens were indoctrinated, go up into the unholy system and train them, send them to the far north to engage in destruction. On the 6th of August in 2012, gunmen invaded church in Okene. People dress up in the morning to go to church to worship, to praise God. They invaded the church, killing 19 people on the 6th of August 2012 in particular, and injured dozens of people in Okene. In the same Okene, soldiers on legitimate duties were targeted and killed by gunmen. Islamic sects were also carrying out tremendous havoc on the citizens of Kogi Central. Kidnappers reign supreme in Kogi Central. As ransoms are delivered to them at their own doorstep, at their residence. All these were happening before the coming of His Excellency Alhaji Abelo in 2016. And when the governor came on board, he was a victim, a serious victim of kidnapping, that is of insecurity before he came on board. His own biological mother was kidnapped and was meant to spend 93 days with the kidnappers in the cave in Okene until she was released. The mother was kidnapped at the age of 92, and she spent 93 days with the kidnappers. So when he came on board, he identified all these issues of insecurity in Kogi State. And again, they say charity begins at home. The governor is from Okene, Kogi Central. And most of these who were carrying out this destruction were from the place. So after due thorough security information gathering and, synergy between the state government, all the security agencies in Kogi State, those who were carrying out those acts were identified. First of all, the camp of the Boko Haram was discovered and they were dislodged immediately. Then the people of the area that were involved in different kinds of Islamic, fundamentalists, they were involved in kidnapping, their houses were identified after they were arrested. The law enforcement agency, led by the governor himself, went to their various houses and destroyed them. All the proceeds they got from the ill-gotten businesses were destroyed in broad daylight. The governor did not stop at that. He made a policy that, yes, the security of life and property is everybody's business. That if you are in Kogi State and you know a neighbor, you know a colleague, you know a friend who is into crime and criminality, please just signal the security agency. We will pay you money and we will cover you from not being identified by these criminals. That wasteful policy in identifying criminals in our state was very helpful and is still in vogue. Through that process, the governor returned total sanity to Okene, that is Kogi Central, and by extension Kogi State. Let me also give you a very close similar thing that happened before the coming of this administration. Before the coming of Yahya Bello as the governor of Kogi State, we have had bank robbery in Kogi State from Okene to Ayangba to Ida to Kaba to Egbe, even the Lokoja metropolis. There were cases of bank robbery. You understand? Yeah. But when came in, all those things, he put an end to it. You understand? Since 2016, when the governor took over, till this very moment as we speak, we have had one failed bank robbery attempt and another one that took place in Egbe. You understand? Of recent, about early last year, these were the two armed robbery cases.
Okay.
On our institution.
All right, I know. Hold on, Mr. Mohammed. I've read that. I even saw that earlier today when I was trying to read up on your state that you've not witnessed bank robberies like you used to in the past with this administration. But my colleague Michael has a question for you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed. Before we leave the issue of security, you said earlier that the Kogi State is probably the most peaceful state in the northern part of the country and Nigeria. Yes. Okay. In the last 2 months, you've had a recording of the killing of a commissioner for pension. Pension board. You also had the kidnapping of a chairman of Yagba East in the last.
Took place simultaneously. They were in the same journey.
Yeah. Okay.
On the same journey.
Okay, so basically, my question is not about the statistics. It's about the safeguards.
Exactly.
What exactly is the governor and the government in Kogi State putting in place to make sure that all these crimes and criminalities are curtailed, basically?
Now, let me quickly respond to that incident. The commissioner for pension and the local government chairman of Yagba East were coming from Ilori. There's this community between Kwara State. They call the place Ekiti community. Immediately you leave the Ekiti community, you now enter Kogi State. That was where the incident took place.
Okay.
But our people were involved. You understand? And the governor did not stop at that. Just like I said, the governor of Kogi State, essentially Yahya Bello, put so much premium in security. Now, the people who carried out that dastardly out were traced. And I think 3 of them, either 3 or 2, I am not certain about the number, but there was an arrest that was made as regard to that.
Okay.
Because what the governor is doing in Kogi State here For every week, he will hold a security meeting with the head of DSS, the head of the Commissioner of Police, the Commandant Nigeria Army Record, Sherry McMurray Barracks in Lokoja here, and the head of Civil Defense Corps, including all the 21 local government chairmen, all the first-class traditional rulers in Kogi State. You understand? Some of the councillors will be part of that meeting every week. They will meet every week to, bring out the issue of insecurity in their various domains, and they will analyze it, profile solutions, then re-strategize. So when the traditional ruler return home at the end of the security meeting, they will call meeting of the local chiefs again, that we are coming from Lokoja, and that is what we have discussed in order to safeguard our people. He will now send the message to the local chiefs that will take the message down to the lowest, the hamlet part of Kogi State. You understand? And again, the governor has been able to provide logistics for the security agencies, both conventional and non-conventional. We have been able to provide security logistics for them in the area of gadgets, patrol vehicles, even if they are not enough. But the governor has been very, 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 serious about that. Now, when you put all this security architecture together, it will be difficult, because in Kogi State today, as I am sitting down here, I am very, very particular about the security of myself and my neighbor in my house here. So everybody is cautious of security. So when they notice any movement that is unusual, they quickly report either to the vigilante people or the hunter around, and the conventional security agencies, and before you know, arrest will be made. If you listen and if you are following of recent, so many issues of Kogi State insecurity that have emanated from Kogi State of recent were arrest of kidnappers in most cases.
All right.
Arrest of kidnappers, because the governor has made the state in such a way that when you come to rob, when you come to carry out any activity that is criminal in nature, there is no way for you to go back.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
I have two questions. One is closely linked to the question of security, which is about human rights. Yes. Recently, Kogi was in the news about two young Nigerians who were, arrested, and they have remained in detention since for staging a protest. A Buhari must go protest. That is still hanging somewhere there. Is Kogi? I mean, look at Kogi State, where we have a young governor. Somebody that you will say is supposed to be a poster boy for young Nigerians. Is Kogi living room? Sorry?
He's not supposed. He is the poster boy for the young Nigeria.
Okay, I will take you up on that. Let's go to this question.
So let's talk about these two young Nigerians. For how long are they going to remain in detention for simply protesting?
What you are saying is alien to us in the executive arms of government. Because in the Administration of Criminal Justice in Nigeria, the governor, the executive, the people who are in charge, the police, the court, and the correctional services. The governor has no power to arrest any citizen. And the governor, Alhaji Yahya Bello, is a law-abiding citizen who believes in rule of law.
But the governor also said there should not be any protest, in view of June 12 last week. So some will
see, in the issue of social media, just like you are having me today, it's a privilege to let the people know the truth of any issue that is emanating from Kogi State. The governor has never, at any time, said there should not be protest on June 12th. He has never said that. What the governor did as a peacemaker, as a nexus between the youth and the elderly in this country, he called the National Association of Nigerian Students, that is NAN, and speak to their leader. I spoke to their leadership. Look, there are better ways of achieving this. We cannot continue to go about going on the roads to cause harm to ordinary citizens who even may be on their own way in looking for their livelihood. And again, at the end of the meeting he held with the NAN's executive, they said no, they are not going to be part of the protest. So the information all the news that the governor said there must not be the governor is not an autocrat.
So let's quickly address the second part, which is the handling of COVID-19 in Kogi State. At a point, it was a major blowout between the government of Kogi and NCDC in terms of testing, because the governor for so long held the position that there was no COVID-19 in Kogi State. As at July 2020, there was actually a rejection, an official rejection by the government of Kogi of anything called COVID-19 in the state. A lot of people wonder that is the governor against the position of science on this or what?
When you talk of science evolves. There is evolution in sciences. And when you have a particular issue, there is need for us to combine common sense and science together to arrive at a point. Let me tell you, for the benefit of our listeners, that under the leadership of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello, if you go to National Bureau of Statistics, the kind of either death rate arising from, infant mortality, death occurrence from, childbirth, and all other things have reduced drastically since the administration of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello. That does not happen by magic. When the governor came on board, he looked at the health policy of the state and he discovered some areas that needed to be built upon. And he embarked on massive reconstruction of our health facilities, upgrading of our health institutions, so that they can cater for everybody in the state.
Mr. Mohammed, why not speak to the question of COVID-19? Because we're talking about the pandemic here, different from whatever you must have had in place.
Yes. Now, when you talk of the pandemic, we have had the worst situation in Kogi State that is more severe than the coronavirus. In 2017, Lassa fever broke out in Kogi State, and we lost about 6-7 persons within 3 days. You understand? And when that happened, the governor started thinking out of the box and invited, in fact, he ran to NCDC in 2017 that this is the situation I'm having in my state today. How do I control the spread of Lassa fever? Now, NCDC collaborated with the state government, and the government covered out 2.8 billion naira to build a biosafety laboratory at the Kogi State Specialist Hospital. All the Lassa fever cases that were treated at that facility came out alive. And that was the end of Lassa fever in Kogi State. Now, there was an outbreak of yellow fever in 2018. The governor, using the same instrumentality of liaising with the health institution, nipped that in the body without any casualty. Coming to coronavirus, this Lassa fever and the yellow fever I've told you have caused more damage to us than what coronavirus was presumed to have done. The governor does never at any time say there was no coronavirus. But he said, yes, there was coronavirus, or there is coronavirus. But the people should not die because of the fear of coronavirus. Going by the symptoms that were outlined by the World Health Organization, domesticated by the NCDC, and brought down to Kogi State, these are the symptoms of coronavirus. Flu, which we have been having from time immemorial, cough, dry cough, we have been having from time immemorial, fever, we have been having it from time immemorial, and all those things. What do we need to do? Wash your hands very clean. Don't mingle with people. Don't live in cluster. All those things. Our people were very, very enlightened on how to go about it. And that is why till today, you cannot find any coronavirus case in Kogi State.
Let me ask you. How many of your citizens were tested? I just want to know how many of your citizens were tested.
Listen, I'm coming to that place because I'm bringing NCDC into it now. They came to Kogi State and they say yes, they are here to assist the state government in carrying out massive tests, all other protocol to ensure that the state remains safe as it were. Now they came. There are six staff of NCDC that came in the Hilux vehicle. 6 of them. One driver, one at the front, the 4 of them at the back seat. They came. And when the governor received them, in the presence of the governor, while they were giving their speech, and at the end of the day, they were exchanging handshake with everybody in the hall. And if you look at it, because the governor is practical, is courageous to say the truth, no matter how it is. So if one of the rules of the NCDC, the guideline to curtail the spread of, coronavirus, is by
social distancing.
Social distancing. And you see the officials who have been putting this guideline violating their own rule, and they said those who practice orthodoxy must not be seen to detest orthodox. So, and the governor said, "Oh, you have violated your rule in our presence here," through our incident manager, and we ask them to go for isolation. When they are done, they will come back and work with us. For example, when the coronavirus broke out initially, we heard that there are some Chinese expatriates that came to Nigeria to help us curtail the spread. Immediately they came, they were driven from airport to isolation center. You understand? They were driven from airport to isolation center for 15 days for quarantine.
So the state took them into isolation center.
We have isolation center and we ask them to get themselves quarantined and come out to join us. No, they cannot do that. So what I'm trying to say is that the governor was very frank and is still frank about the policy and everything around coronavirus. He said that he took an oath to protect life and property of the people of Kogi State, and he cannot go, abandon that oath he has taken. Now, when they came, they left. They said they could not go into isolation. And at the end of the day, because it is a normal practice, it is a protocol that you must follow. And before they even came, we learned that one of their drivers in National State contacted the coronavirus and, died in the process or something like that. So that was why the governor said all the protocols should be observed, then come and let us work together. They disagreed, they left. And at the end of the day, there was an amicable resolution. They came back to Kogi State. We took them to our market center, our institution, everywhere they carried out the test with our own incident management team in Kogi State here.
Okay.
No single case was found. And recently, in those states where they held National Sports Festival, Kogi contingent, 85 of them, athletes and their officials, were tested, not by Kogi State incident management team, but the one put in place by the NCDC and Edo State. None of them was tested positive to coronavirus.
All right. Okay.
So, what he was saying, that we should not toil. The rate of poverty in this country is alarming.
Okay.
People are suffering. You cannot lock down people and say no because there was coronavirus.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed, thanks for this explanation. Well taken. Because of our time, I'd like to move to this other one. Earlier, you were referring to His Excellency Governor Yahaya Bello as the poster boy of the APC. He has been making he has been making statements about 2023. So let's using your expression, combining common sense and science. What's the stats? What are the stats saying? Remember, the governor was saying that all Nigerians, would like him to be president in 2023. How empirical is that?
Whether you put it in a empirical format, the fact today is that if you go to Northeast today, the people of that state, they are not looking for government to come and construct roads, hospital, water for them. What they need at the critical moment is for them to go to their homes, sleep, wake up, go to their farm, do their farming activity, and come back without any security, any insecurity, any attack. That is one. If you look at Nigeria today, there is a dichotomy, whether we like it or not, between the various religions we have. You are Igbo. When you speak, you see an eminent man from the western part of Nigeria speaking. The people around from the other region, they will try to tailor his statement around the ethnic region where he is speaking from. A northerner will be speaking. The people from other states will try to a kind of ethnicize the comment he has made, even if it is nationalistic. So it shows that we are not united. We need to get ourselves together. And every Nigerian has seen that. From the statistics I've given and what they have seen today, Kogi is bounded by 10 other states, including FCT. which means we have so many entries and exits of hoodlums, of criminals, of kidnappers entering into Kogi State, causing havoc, find the same means to go out. But because the governor has been on top of the security situation, that menace has been curtailed to the barest minimum.
So based on this, you think the governor has the fitness, in terms of the clout to contest the 2023 presidential election on the platform of APC, right?
Yes, before I come to that, it's as fit as
No, Mr. Mohammed, just answer that question because we don't have time.
Yes, if you look at our neighboring states, like recently, over 200 students were evacuated from one state close to us. In other states, you listen to herdsmen and farmers, crisis every day. What the governor has done, he has been able to bring everybody to his administration. We must live together as Nigerians. In Bello's cabinet today, his special advisor on legal matter, that is the next to the Attorney General of the state, is a Yoruba man, Mr. Femi Adegboyega, Barrister Femi Adegboyega. He's from Lagos State. Now, the governor, the special advisor to the governor on research and documentation, is an Igbo man from Anambra State, Barrister Moses Okeze. Then the governor also has a special advisor on public relations. He is from Borno State, far north Borno State. Now, we also have a special advisor on intergovernmental and interreligious affairs. So when you bring these people together, we sit down to negotiate how we should live in peace. If you look at the setting of Kogi State, we have vast arable land, vast water body. So there are dominant presence of Fulani herdsmen in Kogi State, but they know the do's and don'ts that they are supposed to abide by, and that is why we have been living in peace. If you are talking of religious ago, the governor as a Muslim, Kogi State was created August 27, 1992, about 30 years ago. There have been a place where there is a mosque in government house where Muslims will come to pray anytime there is time for them to go.
Mr. Mohammed, the question is about 2023.
Yes, I'm very close to that. There is no place where Christians who works in government house can go and offer their prayer. It is the Alhaji Abdullah that built a chapel in government house after 30 years for the Christian faithful to come and have a place of worship.
Okay.
So this is the quality Nigerians have seen in him. They know that this man is on top of situation when it comes to security. They know that this man is a uniting factor between the different religious body we have in Nigeria and ethnic group we have in Nigeria. Of recent, you are from Ibadan. I'm speaking to you while you are in Ibadan. You live all your life in Ibadan, or you work in Ibadan. You see what happened during the attack on Fulani community that led to the people who are transporting food to the south to say, oh, there will be food blockade. They are not going to transport food to the downside again. It took Alhaji Ayabelo out of his colleagues because the people say they have petitioned everybody. They have petitioned the federal government, all the security agencies, the governor's forum. No action seems to be taken. So they are back on strike. The governor came in and resolved this issue within 24 hours.
Okay.
Then put in petition.
Mr. Mohammed, thank you very much. I know that you could go on. Mr. Mohammed, I know you could go on and on, because of your principle, to let us see how pan-Nigerian he is, how he transcends, how ecumenical in spirit that he is as well. But we wish him all the best. In his endeavor to become the president of Nigeria. But
he hasn't said that. He hasn't said that.
I mean, if that's what he wants to be, so we wish him all the best if that's what he wants to be. All right. So now, thank you so much for being with us on the program. I just want to close with this report done by International Center for Investigative Reporting on Kogi State, where the commissioner for information, Mr. Fawu once said that Kogi recorded the highest foreign investment in Q4 2020. The fact check verdict says that based on the data of NBS, they claim that Kogi State has the highest foreign direct investment for the last quarter of 2020 was false. How do you respond?
No, you see, we have these people who are going about, you cannot just own your laptop and say you are an investigative journalist. Kogi was not rated. Is it national investment? Just you Google it, you find out the body that made that pronouncement. It is not Kogi State. And to be frank with you, in Kogi State today, because there is a relative peace, because we have manpower, because we have abundant natural resources, people are coming in to invest. If you go to Ajaokuta local government, for example, forget about the Ajaokuta State Complex.
Okay.
Over 5 cottage industry that are involved. The best tile you can find in Nigeria today is produced in Ajaokuta. Is that not investment in industry? Now, if there are all of these in Kogi State, there are ethanol processing industry in Kogi, in Lokoja here, for example. We have the largest ethanol processing, company in Lokoja here.
Well, thank you. I know. I just wanted to hear your verdict about it, but you already said it's not true. But that's the statistic we have here. Well, thank you, Mr. Onogu Mohammed, for speaking with us on Splash FM today, and we wish you all the best in Kogi State.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have to go now on the program today. Michael, the fact checker. Congratulations on your work. You want to refer people to how to get to that work?
You just go to www.splashfm1055.com. You'll find that story there.
I would like to tell you that Michael Olatubosun is a Dubawa fellow and now also doing fact-checking work in your state. Well done, guy.
Thank you very much.
Today, thank you for coming on the program today.
Thank you. Let me also congratulate Michael. That's laudable.
Mm-hmm.
That's laudable. I mean, I think right now people should be careful about
what they say in your state,
especially when Michael is around.
That's a fact checker here. Yeah,
I'm innocent.
Kenneth Kaunda is dead.
KK.
I mean,
one of the last, I would say, post-colonial. Heroes of Africa is gone. He died at the ripe old age of 97.
He was a freedom fighter. Wall Street Journal called him the autocrat and the devoured elder statesman.
Well, those post-colonial heroes had some bite of autocracy, but they did organize the African space. They did.
Yeah. We'll be paying tribute to him very soon. So thank you very much for being part of this program. Josh, thank you so much. Ayo and Ogben Arakuni, where is it? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Michael. Thank you to the Amuluwashim or Markiola. We have a nation to rescue, and go ahead and rescue Nigeria.
Splash FM 105.5.
dúró sórí àlà gbáradì ó ti yá bẹ̀rẹ̀ oṣù tuntun pẹ̀lú soccer ready promo tó kà màmá pẹ̀lú Samsung ra èyíkéyìí Galaxy S21 olóríṣiríṣi kó o sì gba buds live kan wàá tún gba Bluetooth headset lórí gbogbo Galaxy A32 àti àpò alágbèékẹ́yìn backpack tó bá ra A12 àwọn àǹfààní tó kà màmá wà tó bá ra Galaxy A02 náà ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ 4 oṣù kẹfà di ọjọ́ 2 oṣù kejì ọdún 2021 tààrà ṣàṣà àǹfààní yìí wà títí ọjà ó fi tán lẹ̀ àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
Big protein breakfast àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á se oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rí wọn láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ Big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún Big protein amárata kébé.
Pig, rich for your pig.
Báwo lẹ̀rọ àgbéká rẹ ṣe wúlò fún ọ sí?
Ṣí àkàǹtẹ̀ tó máa ń expensive.
Kò sì ní àǹfààní àyẹ̀wò tó bá ṣe déédéé. Tẹ *326# láti ṣí àkáǹtì Ecobank Express Save tiẹ̀ lónìí. Láìsí ìwé kankan, kò sí ìyọnu, kò sì ṣẹ́jọ́ rárá. Ecobank, báǹkì gbogbo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside here.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Fluco Day. It does not cause drowsiness.
Nah, draw. I know this drug. It work well. Let me try it. The fight shot by Harvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flu.
Fluco Day!
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's the apple?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean come white like this, eh?
Yes, now. Na hypo toilet cleaner than they use to clean and kill the yama germs come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with Hypo Toilet Cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and germ-free. Available in sachet for 35 naira only.
Madam, now 2 years land one collect.
We go pay for 6 years, eh?
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-up contains